Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Marion, Hamilton, and Squatchy counties. This is going to go in effect until the next 45 minutes, until 4:45 p.m. Central Time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. It's for this line of thunderstorms that you see out here moving across the Squatchy Valley as we speak, extending from Whitwell down through Little Squatchy, Jasper, South Pitt, New Hope, and also down into Bridgeport and Stevenson. This is all moving to the east at about 30 to 40 miles an hour. So what I'm going to do here real quick, I'm going to share this video out here. And again, for those of you just tuning in, this is the severe thunderstorm that's been issued in the areas that are in orange that are on that map. That's where the warning lies. The blue polygons you see outside that warning, those have been the significant weather advisories. So let me know what you're seeing also outside, so that way that helps with ground truth and all that other stuff as I share this live out here real quick. Again, the reason why that I'm on here is because we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the Squatchy Valley and the Chattanooga metro area here for the next 45 minutes until 4:45 p.m. Central, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And I do want to emphasize here real fast that this is the only warning that we got in the whole area right now. So at this moment, as of this very minute, this is the only severe warning that we're working here. It flared up pretty quickly coming down the plateau, coming down I-24 and into Jasper and Kimball. The winds ramped up, and that's why we have this warning in effect. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do some analysis here in just a minute. What I'm going to do real quick is put a track on this, and this is a new source that I'm using here. So we're going to give this a try. Again, this is moving off to the east, and let me get this movement here real fast and make sure it's right on. Let's see. I'll have to do it on here because my phone's acting slow. It's moving east at 40. So let me put a track on that for you. And again, this will just be one of those line tracks that I'll do, and we'll move that as far east as we can, and we'll take it out towards Cleveland. So again, I'll shorten the cities for you here, and this will be near Signal Mountain here within the next. Let me adjust that track there. So this will be near Signal Mountain here within the next 12 minutes. So that would be 5:13. Chattanooga by about 5:20 downtown. Rossville about 5:23. About 5:26 in Eastridge. 30 minutes from now, which would be 5:30 for Fort O. Collegedale, if it holds together, in about 40 minutes, which would be 5:40. So those are some estimated times of arrival for those particular locations there, at least along that line. So again, the severe part is what you see back out here, moving across the Squatchy Valley as we speak. It's moved out of South Pittsburg and Kimball, so you folks are good out here towards the Highway 72 corridor and up into Kimball. But it's really from Nickajack Dam down through Bridgeport, New Hope, to the east side of Jasper, through Little Squatchy and up into Whitwell. That's where, in Crossroads, this is where the most intense part of this thunderstorm is. And it's crossing, and it's crossed over 28 and is about to cross Griffith Highway, which is this road right here that runs by Loves and goes all the way up towards the Crossroads. And then once it crosses that, it'll cross over the river and the River Gorge, move over Prentice Cooper, and then eventually into Hamilton County towards, first of all, Signal Mountain. Then it'll be Red Bank, Hickson, downtown, and down into Eastridge here. So this will all be happening in fairly short order here. So this is moving east at 40 miles an hour. So it won't take more than 20-30 minutes at max for this to get into the city here. So if you're out there, if you're outside attending anything that's going on, outdoor activities at the pool, wherever you may be, you need to get inside, get somewhere that's inside, away from windows here, and ride this out until it passes. Now I'm going to do some analysis here real quick also, just to show you what the are looking like at the moment. And again, they have come down a little bit here over the last, so that's encouraging. So that's some good news there, but we're still getting at least some 40 to 50 here on the Marion side. The Jackson County side's actually ramped up a little bit to about the 50 to 60 side, so it would not surprise me if we get a warning here down the road for the Bryant and Higdon areas, but at the moment you don't have a warning. But heads up in Day County, because this is heading your way here over the next 10 minutes or so. So there's your heads. So this is a heads up for you folks in Day County and also Walker County, because this is heading your way too, as these strong thunderstorms continue moving from west to east across our area. And again, this is the only only game we have pretty much in town right now. So Other areas, if you're not being like Grundy County or Franklin County, you're clear. This is past you, and I really don't see anything else behind this for the rest of the evening. So that's some good news there. Again, this is a one and done thing, so that's a good thing. So again, the worst of this right now is crossing over the highway, State Route 27 and also State Route 28 corridors from Whitwell down through the east side of Jasper over Nickajack Dam and New Hope, all moving off to the east. And there's that new scan that just came in. So now the really heaviest part is moving over Suck Creek, extending up through Lone Oak, Mowbray Mountain, and all the way down to the lake, and also down through Lads, down in towards Coal City and Dade County, through about Bryant and Higdon there on Sand Mountain. And we also got some other thunderstorms around Scottsboro, down through Pisgah, Eider, Henniger there on the mountain, but these are currently non-severe at this time. And don't forget about you guys up here to the north, Pikeville up through Crossville, Lake Tansey, east of Spencer. You got some thunderstorms up here moving into Ray County, but these are currently classified as non-severe, so just wanted to check up on you guys there real quick. You don't have anything to worry about at the moment. Looks like a special weather statement, which is this blue polygon you see here on the screen, has been issued for Dade and Walker counties. That's going to go in effect through the next 40 minutes. So I will get you that information here really fast here. So let's get you that information out as quick as I can get it. So let me put that on the map. There we go. Strong thunderstorm was located over Stevensville or near Trenton. It's moving east at 40 miles an hour. Hazard is 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts, pea-sized hail, and frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. Locations that are in the path of this include Trenton, Fort O, Rossville, Chickamauga, Lookout Mountain, Chattanooga Valley, Rising Fawn, Lakeview, Coal City, Wildwood, Fairview, New England, Morganville, Hooker, Cloudland Canyon, and Cooper Heights. That's for this special weather statement that's just been issued for Dade and Walker. But again, the only area that has a severe thunderstorm right now is eastern Marion County up into southern Sequatchie County and pretty much all of Hamilton County. I know technically Ooltewah, Collegedale, Appleton, you're not quite in this warning yet, but at least right now. But it's pretty much safe to assume that all of Hamilton County is under this severe thunderstorm warning, considering a good 80-90% of the counties currently in this polygon. So let's check and see if we got an update here on the wind mode. And again, where you see the bright reds in here on velocity, that indicates that really strong gusty wind is pressing from west to east. Again, up in here, still technically on the Marion side here, showing up around 50. And then down here to the south again, towards the tri-state border there, where Alabama and Georgia all to come together there where Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia all come together around Bryant there in the northeast tip of Jackson County, showing some higher wind gusts in here, a little over 1,000 feet off the ground. So for that reason, that's why we have this warning in effect. And that's going to go in effect here through the next almost 35 minutes. Right now it's 5:07 Eastern, 4:07 Central Time. So the warning will expire here at 4:45 Central, 5:45 Eastern Time. Now I do want to say, for those of you out towards Whitwell, Little Sequatchie, Jasper, Kimball, South Pitt, and even most of New Hope, the worst of this is past you to the east. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the all clear. This is not a threat to Mott Eagle. This is not a threat to Orme or Griffith Creek. You guys are in the clear from this. This is off to your east. The only area of the county that's experiencing any kind of a strong to severe storm activity is mainly along and east of Griffith Highway. And so you could very much draw a line from the Nickajack Dam up through Griffith Highway, east of Highway 28, and up through the Sequatchie County line, crossroads, and points east. That's the zone. And just as I say that, there's the new warning update. So let's see what's being said here, if we've got any confirmation of winds or anything like that. They also added a tornado possible tag on this. That's interesting because I'm not seeing any rotation. At 5:08 p.m. Eastern, severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Dunlap to near Trenton. It's moving east at 45 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 mile an hour wind gusts. It is radar indicated. Locations that are in the path of this severe storm include Chattanooga, Dunlap, Soddy Daisy, Signal Mountain, Walden, Lakeside, Ridgeside, and Fairmount. So those locations in the path. Now we can actually take Dunlap out of this now because the worst of this is south of Dunlap. So in fact, Dunlap, scratch what I just said, you are good. So Dunlap, Whitwell, Jasper, West, you're fine. It's really now from Haletown, Suck Creek, points east into Hamilton County, including the city of Chattanooga here. So let's check and see here because I did have an interesting tag there of tornado possible. I'm not seeing any kind of rotation in there, so I'm guessing that's probably for precautionary reason, but I don't see a threat of anything spinning up, so that's the good thing here with this. This is mainly a strong wind producer, so strong downburst wind producer that can produce some winds that could get upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour at the surface, that can knock down trees, that can knock down some power lines. So now, considering I've been under this storm, you may have heard some thunder and lightning in the background there. I've not heard hardly much of any wind here, and my power is not even out. So I think that's a good. I believe that's a good sign here that maybe this storm is losing its intensity a little bit, at least on the wind side of things. So it may not be as strong as what's being indicated here on radar. Now, I do believe, especially as you go up in elevation here, especially you go up on top of Signal, Elder Mountain, and even down towards Sand and even Lookout, those winds might actually accelerate up there because they're on higher elevation. So that's something to take note of here as these thunderstorms cross up and over those mountains. It can actually enhance the wind speed a little bit sometimes. So that's going to be something to watch here for the city of Chattanooga and the whole metro, basically, as this moves off from west to east. So hopefully the winds are not at the surface or not anywhere near what's being indicated, at least on the severe end of things. But again, we just got to watch this closely here since we got the warning in effect here, the severe thunderstorm warning. So heads up around Red Bank and Signal. This is about to move into your area within the next probably no more than 5 minutes. Soddy Daisy is pretty much on top of you right now. Falling Water, it's seconds away. Again, downtown Chattanooga, if you're outside walking around and everything else downtown, you need to find somewhere to get inside and just get away from windows here, wait for this to pass. Same applies to Lookout Valley, down through Lookout Mountain, Rossville, Fort O, East Ridge, for the airport, Hamilton Place, up through Tyner, Harrison, Hickson, Lakeside. This is all heading in your direction here within the next few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an updated a path on this based on what's been said, and let me take that off real fast and we'll get that cooked up here for you. So this is going to be the line, moves off to the east here at about 40 miles an hour, and we'll just track it from that point forward. And again, we'll also give a heads up over towards Cleveland and Bradley County as well. So let me point the speed up just a little. There, we'll move that to about 45. So again, Signal, this is pretty much on top of you right now. Downtown Chattanooga within about 9 minutes, so give it about 5:20, about 5:25 for East Ridge, about 5:30 for Fort Oglethorpe. Also about 30 minutes away in Collegedale, so right now it's 5:12. Add 30 minutes to that, so that'd be about 5:40 to 5:45 for you. In Cleveland, this will be in your area right around 5:50, so that'll be in those areas by that point. And then Colowee there within about 2.5 hours as that moves off to these from there. So again, those are some estimated path links here. Let's see if we can add a few more cities on here. Trenton, very much right now. Walden right now. Rossville here in about 15 minutes roughly, so give it between about 5:25 and 5:30 for you. Same with East Ridge. Collegedale there again around about 30 minutes. Ringgold, those of you in Ringgold that watch, this will be in your neighborhood here right around 5:45 roughly. Could be a little bit sooner depending on the speed of the storm. So again, that just kind of gives you a bit of a general idea as to when this storm is going to be in your town. Again, this is a linear line that's moving from west to east. It's packing quite a punch as it does so. And just also real quick, I'll check on these storms up to the north, from Bledsoe, Ray counties up into southern Cumberland County. These are non-severe, but for those of you that are watching from Spring City and also Decatur up through 10 Mile Meigs County, Get ready for some strong thunderstorms with frequent lightning, heavy rain, and possibly some gusty winds there. Also, still got some strong storms moving across Scottsboro and Hollywood, east through Pisgah and Ider here in northeast Alabama, there on Sand Mountain, extending up through Shiloh, east of Higdon, through pretty much all of Dade County, right up through Trenton, moving into Cloudland Canyon, going to Top Lookout now, and we'll be in the Chickamauga area here within the next 5 to 10 minutes, as well as Cooper Heights there along 193, as well as Flintstone. Within about 5 minutes, it'll be in Flintstone. Again, downtown Chattanooga will be there in about 5 minutes. So just make sure you're inside and it's away from windows. Again, you don't have tornado precautions or anything like that. It's just be prepared for some strong wind. Here's an interesting signature here, showing some winds here, and again put on velocity so you can see how 1,000 feet off the ground. It's showing a gust at about 66 in the vicinity of Suck Creek Road and Signal Mountain here. So again, that's heading right. So Mountain Creek Road over towards Red Bank, Morrison Springs Road out there by Royer North and all that. This is heading in your direction, and it'll be there within the next 5 minutes. So if the wind hadn't picked up there yet, it will very soon. And then after that, that will move into the Hickson area. Winds down in here, also near severe levels. In fact, actually right at severe levels over Raccoon Mountain and Elder Mountain, heading towards the North Shore and downtown. So as I said, if you're around the North Shore, outside in downtown Chattanooga, you need to be heading inside somewhere. It could be a restaurant, it could be a store, it could be anything that just offers any kind of good shelter. Just head inside and just let this out, and ride this out. Looks like about 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts going through the Lookout Valley Tiftonia area according to radar. Winds start ramping up again as you move into Dade County around Wildwood, down through the outdoor movie theater that's out there off Sligo Road, and then that continues all the way down through the Dade County side of Sand Mountain and moving into Trenton and the valley at this point. So again, that's kind of a look at velocities here again. And I'll reiterate this because I know this severe thunderstorm warning has that tornado possible tag on it. I am not currently seeing any indications of any kind of tornadoes with this. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's totally impossible to have one, but right now I'm not seeing any indications of that. What this really resembles more of is the typical summertime downburst wind that can knock down trees, and considering this is going up and over elevation here through Signal Mountain and Lookout and other mountains locally here, moving into the city, this could very well cause some tree damage and power line damage as this moves off to the east here. So again, that's why it's always best to stay away from windows, because you never know, because sometimes these winds can be really, really intense. But again, that's the situation we have at this time. Again, we don't have any other warnings in effect, but I do. The reason why we're on here is because we got this one that's practically solely for Hamilton County now. So I think we could take most of Marion and Sequatchie out of this. So if you're in Sequatchie County, you're good. So Dunlap, Lone Oak, up through Lewis Chapel, you don't have to worry about this anymore. This is moved away from you. And for the vast majority of Marion County, those of you watching me from Marion County, you're good. It's really only from about Etna Mountain and Whiteside, Prentice Cooper, and east. That's the only part of Marion County that has severe thunderstorms ongoing at the moment. Everything is pushing east from there. So this is really, at this point, pretty much 100% now a Hamilton County issue on the severe side of things. But not to forget about Dade County either, because this is going to move from Dade into Walker County here in a matter of minutes. So give it about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and this will be crossing up and over Lookout into Walker County around Chickamauga and up towards Fordo and Rossville and Flintstone. There's a new radar scan. Looks like we got another thunder shower that's formed out ahead of this line that's moving over East Ridge and moving up into Hamilton Place. So that's probably the outflow from this line that's maybe kicked off a little extra development ahead of this. Same thing with up towards Middle Valley and Lakeside. But again, those of you from Soddy and south are the ones that need to be on guard here for the potential of severe storms in Hamilton County at this time. So let's since we got a new update on the wind modes here, let's see how that's looking here. Query some of these for you. Again, remember these amounts are about 3,000 feet off the ground, so there's a chance, especially near the surface, that these are a little lower than this. So just to keep that in mind, about 3,000 feet off the ground, showing a gust of about 62. Just below Signal Mountain there, and on top of the mountain as well, showing a gust of about 64. Again, a few thousand feet off the ground. Again, at the surface, that probably translates to about 50, 55. And then that will be in Red Bank in a matter of seconds. And then for downtown Chattanooga, looks like we're seeing some gusts of about 50 to 55 miles an hour. And that goes all the way down into Dade County as well. So there's some real, so that's the one thing I can say about this line segment here is it has consistency on it as far as the wind gusts are concerned. Again, most locations probably get up to 50 miles an hour, but there will be isolated pockets here, especially on the Hamilton County side, that may have some gusts upwards of 60 at the surface level. So that's just something to keep note of, and that's why this warning's in effect here because of that possibility. Now, hopefully, as this moves east, hopefully it'll lose its intensity, but again, I'll give you a heads up over in Cleveland here. This is heading in your direction. So Ooltewah, Collegedale, Cleveland, Ocoee, Benton, this is heading in your direction here within the next half hour. The good thing here is that this is moving quickly. This is moving at 40 miles an hour, so it's not going to sit over a certain location for more than maybe 5-10 minutes at most. So this is going to be in and out fast. Those 5 to 10 minutes, though, are going to be pretty gnarly. They're going to be pretty wicked. It's going to be messy there for those 5 to 10 minutes. So just get ready for that if you haven't had anything yet out here from Harrison, downtown Chattanooga, and points east into Bradley County. And same thing goes down here for Walker into Catoosa County. So heads up around Ringgold. This is also heading in your direction here within the next hour or so. So let me put an updated track on this, and I'll do it actually on here just so we can get it done a little bit faster. And we'll time this out from west to east from there. So again, this will be in Fort O around 5:33 Eastern and about 5:45 for the Ringgold area. And also Chattanooga Valley, this is on top of you as we speak. And again, we'll track this up to the north as well, put an updated path for those of you up here on the North Shore and downtown points east towards Collegedale, McDonald area. So this will be near Tyner around 5:33, about 5:35 for Harrison, about 5:40 for Collegedale and Ooltewah, and then about 5:47 for you folks in the McDonald area of Bradley County. And then up here, as we get towards Hickson, Lakeside area, that will be moving off to the east from there. So I'll have to zoom in and get some communities there. Again, Hickson pretty much right now, about 5:22. And then this will be moved towards Ball Spring around 5:42 as well. So again, those were some quick updated projections there out ahead of this. For those of you that have not been impacted just yet by this thunderstorm that's currently severe. So again, for those of you just tuning in, again, Jackson County, you don't have anything to worry about anymore. And also Marion County, I'm giving all Marion County the all clear at this point. Same with Sequatchie County, you're good. Grundy County, Franklin, y'all are good shape. Got this strong thunderstorm up around Evansville and Spring City, moving towards 10 Mile north of Decatur. But this is nothing of worry, just a hefty thunderstorm with a little bit of lightning, some heavy rain, gusty wind, maybe 30 to 40, but nothing huge. And here's the other thunderstorms that extend from east of Scottsboro, so it's solely on Sand Mountain now, from Dutton, Pisgah, Rosalie, Eider, up through Rising Fawn, moving out of Trenton now. So if you're in Trenton, you're good. You're all clear. Moving up Lookout and down into Cooper Heights, and pretty much moving into Chickamauga, Fort O, and Rossville as we speak. Now downtown Chattanooga is in the middle of this now, crossing over the ridge, and Rossville Boulevard and all that moving into East Ridge and Brainerd. So heads up around Brainerd, the airport, out towards the mall, East Brainerd Road, East Brainerd area. This will be in your area here within a matter of just a few minutes. So, and again, you're already getting thunderstorm out ahead of this, but the main line's going to get you here within about 5 minutes or so, and about 5 to 10 minutes for you folks over in Ooltewah, Collegedale, and Appleton. So this is the heaviest part of this line right now. As I said, the heaviest is across southern Dade County, northern Walker County, through southern and central Hamilton County. Now, if you're up here towards Sale Creek and even most of Soddy Daisy, you don't really have too much to worry about up here at all. This is just some good soaking rain up here. The worst is beginning to slide off to your east, and the heaviest winds are also passing just south of you. Here's a strong wind gust being indicated near the just off the surface near Red Bank at about 60 miles an hour. And then down here, close to downtown, about 59. And then down across North Georgia here, Walker County, right around Flintstone. That's probably a little high there at 68, but again, probably 50 to 55 down there. And as I said, that's moving east towards the Harrison area as well as Ottawa here within a matter of minutes. And again, Signal Mountain, I'll go ahead and give you guys the all clear since this has moved off to your east. So it's moved off the mountain, so you're good there. Walden, Fairmount, Lone Oak, y'all are in good shape. Falling Water, I'll give you the all clear, as well as Mowbray. In Flat Top, you're good, as well as Bakewell and Sail Creek. So and also Birchwood. So you guys up in here are good. The areas that are not good at the moment, at least for right now, for the next few minutes, are Red Bank, most of the city of Chattanooga, Hickson, East Ridge, Rossville, Fordo, Ringgold, Indian Springs, Hamilton Place, Brainerd, East Brainerd, Tyner, Appleton, Collegedale, Ottawa, Harrison, through Snow Hill, and even Lakeside. Those are the areas that are currently under siege as far as these strong to severe storms are concerned. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for about another 20 minutes. Right now it's 4:25 Central, 5:25 Eastern time. The warning expires at 4:45 Central, 5:45 Eastern. So we got 20 more minutes left on this. And again, I'll reiterate this, and I've been checking velocities here because of this interesting tag that says tornado possible. I have not seen, and I'm not seeing any indications of any kind of tornado or anything like that forming in here. And you can tell just based on the colors here, it's all in one color. It's all moving in one direction. So that's the good thing here with this. This is all moving in a straight line. So that cuts out any risk of anything tornadic. What this is, as I said a few moments ago, this is mainly one of those typical heavy downbursts that we get with these strong to severe storms this time of the year, where they throw down a pretty good deal of wind in addition to the torrential rain and all that. And as far as the winds can easily get 50 up to 60 miles an hour in this. And that's typically what we see in summertime severe storms. So this really is not any different from what we typically would see this time of the year with a severe thunderstorm. So it's just something that everybody has to be warned of, because we got a lot of outdoor things happening. A lot of people are out, at pools. A lot of people are, out at events and all that stuff. And speaking of events, I want to make a quick mention here. Bonnaroo and Manchester's in good shape. So I'm not seeing anything additional to the north and west impacting Coffee County anytime soon. If that changes, of course, I'll put a post out. But for Bonnaroo and Manchester, in case you have people, people that are there, or you're there yourself, you got nothing to worry about this evening. All this is slid off to your east, and you don't have to worry about it. So just a quick note for those that may be attending Bonnaroo, or those of you that may have people that are attending Bonnaroo up there in Manchester. So again, Manchester is good as far as storms are concerned for this evening. All clear there. Now again, here's the newest radar scan. Red Bank is on the back side of this, so I'll go ahead and give you the all clear in Red Bank as well as Middle Valley. About five more minutes in Hickson and downtown Chattanooga, as well as the south side and up through the North Shore. About 5 more minutes for you folks, and then you'll be good there. East Ridge is now getting in the middle of this, getting ready to cross over Germantown and more roads, as well as Belvoir and areas down towards the 75-24 split around Eastgate. And that's going to move right towards East Brainerd, as well as the Hamilton Place area, and along with East Brainerd, as well as Collegedale and Appleton. Now, we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for Walker, Catoosa, Murray, and Whitfield counties. So this does include you folks in Dalton. It includes you folks in Ringgold, Fordo, Chickamauga, Tunnel Hill, Varnell, and Cohutta. So those of you, as well as Rock Springs. So those of you in those areas are now under a severe thunderstorm warning through the next hour. So that would go in effect probably until 5:30. Let me double check. This should be 6:30, I should say. And let me read that out to you. This goes in effect actually till 6:15. So this severe thunderstorm warning for Catoosa County, northwestern Murray, Whitfield, and central Walker counties in Georgia go in effect until 6:15 p.m. Eastern. At 5:28 p.m. Eastern, a severe thunderstorm was located over Chickamauga, or 9 miles west of Ringgold. It's moving east at 45 miles an hour, so this is sped up quite a bit. Hazard is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It is radar indicated. Locations that are in the path of this severe storm include Dalton, Chatsworth, Ringgold, Fort O, Chickamauga, Varnell, Lookout Mountain, Eton, Tunnel Hill, Cohutta, Chattanooga Valley, Crandall, Sumac, Blue Spring, Fairview, Beaverdale, Cooper Heights, and Rock Spring. So that's the new severe thunderstorm warning that you see out here in this orange polygon that runs in effect till 6:15 p.m. Eastern time for parts of Walker, all of Catoosa, most of Whitfield, and western Murray counties and northwestern Georgia here. So that's a heads up for those of you that are watching from North Georgia. And it's this area of intense wind that I've been watching down here showing some signs of gusts, and this one's showing a gust up to 68 over the Chickamauga battlefield right now at about 3,000 feet off the ground. So at the surface, that's probably gusting at 50 to 60. So again, make sure you're away from windows here from Chickamauga and Fort O east through Catoosa County into Whitfield and Murray. So heads up around Dalton as well. This is all heading in your direction as this moves off to the east. And to check on the Hamilton County side again real fast, since we got two different areas under warnings here, from East Ridge up the ridge all the way up through the Chickamauga Dam, the south side of Hickson, through Harrison, Hamilton Place, up 58 into Snow Hill, and up towards Georgetown. That's the zone right now that's experiencing this severe storm with the warning that remains in effect for about another 14 minutes here for central and southern Hamilton County. And we can pretty much shave off Soddy Daisy and areas along and north of 27 out of this warning. So it's really from the river and points south at this point as far as that severe warning is concerned at this point. Again, Day County, I know you still got a heavy thunderstorm down towards Rising Fawn, but your severe threat's over there. So check mark for you, you're good. But Walker County points east, especially from Lafayette north, points east towards Ringgold into Chatsworth, Eton, Dalton, Varnell, Cohutta. Those areas, stay alert through the next 30 to 45 minutes as you have the potential for 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts, torrential rainfall, as well as those gusty winds and those damaging wind gusts as those press off to the east. And when you see a sharp difference like this on here, where you go from no rain to very heavy rain in a very short distance there along the leading edge of this line, that's also an indication of those strong winds being seen on the leading edge of this line. So that's another thing to kind of take note of here as this moves off to the east. Now, we don't have a warning in Bradley County, so we don't have a severe thunderstorm warning in Bradley County, but you do have but the line that's been responsible for the severe thunderstorm warning in Hamilton and North Georgia here is moving into your area. So those of you around Cleveland, up towards Charleston, Calhoun, Hopewell, and up towards Georgetown, make sure that you're getting inside, getting away from windows. If you're outside, you need to get inside something, and just wait this out here for this storm to pass. Good thing is it's moving at 40 miles an hour. It'll be in and out of there, and it shouldn't take more than maybe 30 minutes at most for it to get out. So that's the good thing with this. As I said, these storms are not sitting. They're actually moving through. The front is forcing them east and everything else. So this is one and done, like that, in a nutshell. In and out, and that'll be it for our evening here once these move off to the east. So again, these are the only areas, as I said, Hamilton County down through Walker, Catoosa, Whitfield, and Murray are the only counties that have active warnings. If you're in an area that does not have a warning, you are in good shape. So if you didn't hear your county there mentioned, you're good. Now for Polk County and Bradley, you do have these strong storms heading your way, so stay alert in these areas. But if you're up here towards Athens or Decatur, Dayton, Evansville, Spring City, back towards the Squatchy Valley, you got nothing to worry about. I know this thunderstorm around Spring City and 10 Mile and Watts Bar is a fairly nasty one here, producing some gusty winds and very heavy rain, but this has not been classified as severe. So that's the good news with that, is it pushes off to the east. That's just a strong storm. And not to forget about some of my followers in DeKalb County, Alabama here. Still got some heavy downpours that extend from Sulphur Springs and Henniger down through Sylvania, Rainsville, Fife, west of Geraldine towards Albertville. That's moving to the east, so get ready for a wet evening in Fort Payne because this is heading in your direction, and that will also affect Little River Canyon and up towards Valley Head and Mentone also within the next half hour. Again, nothing severe with that, but you got some good soakers heading in your direction. Now, Dalton's also getting a pretty good thunderstorm out ahead of this line that's classified as severe, as well as the south and west sides of Chatsworth, but this is the part that's not been warned on. The warned part is back here with this line that's moving from west to east. Right down Battlefield Parkway through Fort O, down through Boynton, into the Ringgold area. So this will be in Ringgold downtown within a matter of a couple of minutes. I mean, it's going to be there just like that. So make sure you're ready and inside just somewhere safe until this passes. As I said, you won't have to wait it out for too long. And we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued. This is going to be for Bradley County. This is going to be for eastern Hamilton County, so this does include you folks in Ooltewah and Collegedale and Appleton, as well as Polk County, southwestern Monroe, extreme southern Meigs, and southern McMinn counties. And let me get you the expiration time on that warning that just came across the wire. This goes in effect until 6:15. And law enforcement has actually confirmed, didn't specify where, but it says law enforcement has confirmed 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this. So this has actually been observed, in at least as far as I know. We just don't have the location on that at the moment. But at 5:34, severe thunderstorms are located along the line extending from 10 miles northwest of Cleveland to near Ridgeside, which is near Chattanooga, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Hazard is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The source is law enforcement. Locations that are in the path of this include Cleveland, Benton, Etowah, Charleston, South Cleveland, East Cleveland, Wildwood Lake, Collegedale, Ooltewah, and Calhoun, Tennessee. So those are the areas that are in the path of this. This also includes I-75 in Tennessee between mile markers 9 and 39. So if you know someone that happens to be traveling along Interstate 75 between Atlanta and Chattanooga on I-75 in North Georgia, make sure they are aware that strong to severe storms are crossing over the interstate. And also, if you know anybody that's traveling between Chattanooga and Knoxville on I-75 in East Tennessee, make sure they are aware that they will be running into these severe storms here over the next 30 minutes or so. So make sure if you know anybody that's traveling, make sure they are aware of this here across North Georgia and East Tennessee. Now back here to the north and west, you get up towards the other side of the plateau up towards Nashville. There's nothing to worry about up there. But for East Tennessee here, specifically from areas between Chattanooga and Knoxville and also between Chat and Atlanta, these are the zones here right now that have the threat of severe weather here through the next 30 minutes to an hour roughly as this moves off to the east. So if you time this out right here, this is going to be in North Carolina here and northeast Georgia here within about an hour to an hour and a half. So it won't be in our area for that long. So with that being said, let's do some quick tracks here. So we'll put some quick storm tracks on some of this. And again, we'll time that out from west to east here. We'll go south and then go north. So this will be in Tunnel Hill around 5:45, about 5:50 in Varnell, and about 6:05 in Eton, and Cohutta Wildlife Management Area there in the North Georgia Mountains around 6:11. Now for Dalton, let's go ahead and time this out for you guys, as well as Chatsworth. This is all moving off to the east from there, and we'll time this out for you at the same speed. Again, downtown Dalton about 5:53. 6:08 for Chatsworth, 6:09 for Eton. So those of you in those areas, a heads up. Now let's jump up here to the Tennessee side and go up to the north towards the Cleveland area. And we'll track that from there. Again, this is also moving towards Ducktown and Ocoee and all that as well. Again, downtown Cleveland here in a matter of minutes. 5:41, 5:55 for Ocoee, 6 o'clock for Benton, 6:24 for Ducktown, and then 6:28 for Farner. So by no later than 6:30, 7 o'clock, this will be moving into Cherokee County, North Carolina. And then I'll track this up here to the north one more time towards Etowah, Delano, and I'll even get it out here towards Tellico Plains. Delano around 6:07, so those of you around Charleston, Calhoun here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Etowah by 6:10, 6:28 for Coker Creek, and about 6:30 for Tellico Plains. So those are some estimated times of arrival there for these severe storms that are moving through the eastern sides of the Chattanooga metro area and down through Catoosa County into Whitfield and up through Bradley County. So let me take off the storm tracks on this and go from there with it. Again, this is let's put on the wind mode, and you can see where the heaviest winds are. So right over Ringgold, we're still seeing some gusts up in here, about 50 to 60 miles an hour through here. Also got a little area moving into Cleveland that's about 50 miles an hour roughly. And then once you get up into the Athens area, the wind really slacks off up in here. But the heaviest part extends from Rock Spring up through Ringgold there along Alabama Highway, moving up through Ooltewah, Collegedale, Appleton, into McDonald, Cleveland, and all the way up through Charleston and Calhoun before it tapers off farther to the north there into the McMinn County area. In fact, Athens, you're barely getting any kind of rain at the moment, but you will get at least some rain. But the worst of this is going to stay south of you. And really, Riceville, this is not going to affect you either. It's really going to be from Etowah, Calhoun, Charleston south is where this is going to be as far as this severe storm is concerned as this moves off to the east here. So, again, those of you in these orange highlighted areas, just make sure you're inside in a good, safe place away from windows. So I'll also give some quick all clears for downtown Chattanooga, East Ridge, Red Bank, Hickson, Saudi, Signal, as well as Harrison, up through Birchwood, even Georgetown, down through Rossville, Fordo, Chickamauga. Look out, you guys are all clear. So if I've mentioned your town or city, or if you live near it, you're good. The worst is over for you. This is off to your east now. So the severe part of this line of thunderstorms is now advancing through Bradley County and points east into Whitfield, Catoosa, as well as Murray counties here. So these are the zones right now that have that warning in effect. And what I'm doing also real fast is kind of copying and pasting this warning so that way we can get that information out here real fast as well. So that way can see where we're going from here. So again, the last severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for Hamilton County is about to expire here in about 5 minutes. So once that warning expires, you'll be officially good for sure. But I'm going to give the all clear ahead of time for those of you that live west of Collegedale and Ooltewah, but give it about 10 more minutes there and wait for this to pass your location. But again, this is the area right now that has the most severe activity. So really from Ringgold up through Appleton into downtown Cleveland, up through Bradley Square Mall, up I-75 and Highway 11, almost to Charleston. Not quite there yet, but it'll be there in a matter of minutes. And after that, it will go through areas like Benton, Ocoee, and also down through the Ocoee River, up towards Reliance, Delano, down towards Aconasauga, the Tenga community, as well as Eton, and down towards Chatsworth and Dalton. So those will be the next areas in line for this severe storm as it moves from west to east across the area here. So now again, if you're in an area to the west that's not been mentioned, and I'll do an overview here so you guys can see that, you're good. So as I said, from the Sequatchie Valley, northeast Alabama, points west, you're good to go. You don't have anything to worry about anymore. This is all east of you now. Now, I've not seen anything, at least in the modeling yet, if there's going to be anything additional. There are a few pop-up showers trying to form out here to the west, but so far those have not shown any signs of organization, so hopefully it stays that way here over the next little bit as this moves off to the east. But again, those of you around Rock Spring, point south into Lafayette, you're in the heaviest part of this storm as we speak, at least one of the heaviest parts. And now that extends into Ringgold, down I-75 into Tunnel Hill. Tunnel Hill's about to get in on this. Up Cherokee Valley Road into Appleton. You're getting the heaviest part of this now. Collegedale, Ooltewah, up White Oak Mountain down into Cleveland, McDonald area, Wildwood Lake, and that extends up I-75 and 11 through Lee University, through Paul Huff Parkway, the mall, into Charleston. So this is now moving into Charleston and Calhoun now. And then, as I said, after that, it's going to approach the Highway 411 corridor, which runs through western Polk County into southern McMinn County. So Etowah, Delano, Benton, Ocoee, this is heading your area next. So make sure you guys are away from windows until this passes. So again, that's the situation at this time with those warnings. Again, these are the only 2 warnings that I'm working right now. So once these are through the area, that'll be it as far as severe weather's concerned. I don't see anything else, again, additional for and behind this. And these advisories here are now just expiring to the west, so you'll see these be dropped off the map here very shortly. Now, not to forget about up in here, across from Decatur, 10 Mile east, from Watts Bar east through Sweetwater, Nyota, Madisonville. Some heavy thunderstorms in here, but they are currently classified as non-severe at this time. So some good news there for those of you in northern McMinn through Monroe County into the northern half of Meigs County as well. So again, really from Highway 30 and north, that's the zone where this thunderstorm's affecting, and that goes all the way up through the State Route 68 corridor into Sweetwater and up towards 10 Mile as well as Nyota. So again, this is a non-severe storm, but it's quite intense, and I'll check the wind to make sure it's not anything too crazy, and thankfully, so far, no. So about 40, maybe 50 in some areas, but as far as wind gusts, but nothing really extreme. Now, down here to the south where the severe storm is, the line at least, still showing some 50 to 60 through here, from Naomi there north of Lafayette and Rock Spring up through the east side of Ringgold now near Catoosa Springs, Tunnel Hill, up into Appleton here, and also Varnell. That's where the heaviest wind is at the moment. Cohutta, this is on your doorstep. Moving up Highway 60. Slacks off a little bit up in here around Cleveland, but still showing some 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts there. Getting ready to move into Ocoee here in a matter of minutes, as well as Benton here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And then it really weakens up in here once you get up towards Athens and all that, where there's only light to moderate rain happening at this time. Again, the worst of the storms are pretty much splitting you up in Athens from going to your north and also going to your south. But again, from Catoosa, Whitfield, Murray counties up through Bradley and Polk, those are the main zones right now experiencing this severe weather at this time. Again, with the potential for 50 to 60 mile an hour winds, as well as the potential for some frequent lightning, and also those gusty winds, and also very heavy rain. And that's been really the big story of all this, that we have a lot of moisture in the air. That's one thing you definitely have felt. I certainly have felt it outside while outside earlier. I mean, you could just feel how thick that humidity is, and it just tells you that there's a lot of fuel for these thunderstorms to thrive off of. That's why we were actually upgraded to the slight risk zone from the marginal earlier this afternoon, because there was more heating, we had this moisture, we added more heating to the mix, and that's allowed these thunderstorms to be able to grow and become strong to severe as they are right now. Now moving east of Chattanooga and mostly east of I-75 pretty much now, as that moves off towards the mountains here off to the east. So that's the situation there at this time, and that's where we're looking at here. Again, let me look and see real fast if we got any reports or anything like that. No tornadic activity at this time. 10 Mile, you don't have anything severe in 10 Mile, just some heavy rain up that way. No tornadoes in Dalton and Chatsworth. You don't have to worry about moving anybody to a safe location. Again, these are storms you don't have to really worry about moving out of mobile homes for, thankfully. Thank you for the report there. The rain in Dayton has slacked off. No rotation in Rising Fawn. The worst has actually moved away from there. Again, Murray County, you don't have to worry about a tornado, just a strong wind gusts and torrential rain. Heavy rains in Collegedale, twisted trees, lots of limbs in Eastridge and Graysville, pouring down in Lafayette, Walker County, power out in the Lake Winnie area. Getting bad at McDonald, winds very bad at McDonald. Let's see, raining in Lookout Valley, lots of wind and rain in Lafayette. And another note here, somebody's made a note here that some sirens are sounding in some counties. Now, I do want to emphasize there's not a threat of a tornado with this. But what can happen sometimes, especially in some districts and counties, when the wind gusts or whatever get to a certain extent, let's say 60 to 70 or something like that, especially when there's a watch in effect or anything like that. I haven't heard if there's been any watches in effect or anything, but sometimes the sirens will sound automatically for certain counties, and again, that's really a county discretion thing as far as that's concerned. And we really don't have a lot of places don't have we don't really have polygon based counties. So if there's a part as far as the sirens and stuff are concerned, so if only it's even if it's just a small part of a county that's under a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, a lot of times the sirens will go off. Again, that varies on the county, but there are certain situations like when we do have severe weather in the area where counties that do have the siren systems and stuff will sound them, depending on the severity and depending on the situation and such. So I will say this just to comfort everybody here: we do not have a threat of a tornado right now. I mean, I'm looking at velocities every few minutes to make sure we don't, and everything I'm seeing here is mainly those strong straight line winds. Now, remember, strong straight line winds can knock down trees, they can knock down power lines. I mean, most of the time, mobile homes are safe in this as long as it doesn't get to 70 or above. Mobile homes are safe, but as far as trees and power lines and stuff are concerned, those can get knocked down with these kind of winds here. So that's why they have to be taken seriously here, and that's why we have these warnings in effect. So again, I'll give you the all clear in Catoosa and Catoosa and Walker counties, I should say. So Catoosa and Walker, you're good. But from Whitfield County into Murray, so Dalton, Cohutta, Varnell, into Eton and Chatsworth, stay inside, be away from windows, as well as Cleveland points east and Bradley County up to Charleston, east of Benton, Delano towards Reliance and Ocoee. Make sure you're inside and away from windows there. And it looks like the worst of this is going to miss Etowah. So if you're up in Etowah there in McMinn, I really don't think you have anything to worry about here as long as this doesn't take a sudden jog north, which based on the trajectory, it's not going to do that. You'll get some rain. Wind may get a little bit gusty temporarily, but the worst of this is going to stay south of you. So I'm going to give McMinn County an all clear as well, because you got a heavy storm in the northern part of the county up around Nyota and the north side of Athens towards Sweetwater, but this is a non-severe storm that's heading down into Monroe County. But again, really for McMinn County as well as Meigs, I'm giving y'all the all clear, as well as Catoosa County and Walker. So you guys are good out in those areas. Again, Day County, y'all are good as well. So let's check on these winds here. Check on the update on this, and remember, these are about 4 to 5,000 feet off the ground. So these winds are not really happening at the surface technically here. So this is showing about 70. Just south of Varnell there, just south of the downtown area of Varnell, around Plainview and Prater Mill, along 71 there. So that's Cleveland Highway that runs out of Dalton and heads up towards Cohutta and eventually Cleveland. But that's about 5,000 feet off the ground. So at the surface, the gusts are probably about 55 to 60. So make sure you're inside, away from windows here, from Dalton and Cohutta and Varnell points east. Tunnel Hill, wait it out for about 5 more minutes and you'll be good there. And then this will eventually cross over 411. So if you know somebody that happens to be traveling along Highway 411 here in Murray County, Georgia, and Polk County, Tennessee, make sure that they are aware that they're going to be running into strong to severe storms. If it gets too heavy, or too severe, just pull off on the side of the road and just wait this out. And that'd be really the best thing to do, because this I would not want to drive through this. This is definitely some messy stuff here moving across Bradley and Whitfield counties here. Again, Polk County, I've been giving you the heads up here for about the last half hour. This is moving in as we speak here. It's crossing, this front edge is now crossing the Bradley-Polk County line and getting ready to cross 411 right over Ocoee and Benton here in a matter of minutes. So, and we can almost say a matter of seconds considering it's moving at about 40. So, just a heads up there, as well as around Reliance, Benton Springs. And it goes right down the Ocoee River, so Camp Ocoee, Parksville, Caney Creek, Archville, up towards Otoe, Conasauga Mill up there in the southwestern end of Monroe County, as well as towards Conasauga, Ball Play, Gap Spring, heads up there in Gap Spring in southeastern Bradley County, down through Gregory, Cisco, Beaverdale, Sumac, Crandall. You already get a heavy thunderstorm in Chatsworth and Eton, but the severe storm is just to your west. So just a little heads up there. So again, Dalton, this is almost on top of you as we speak. This part down in here is weakened just a little bit, but it's still producing some heavy downpours and gusty winds as it moves over Dalton here within the next few minutes. Lafayette, you're good. You're all clear. The heaviest of everything's to your south and east. Just some residual rain here across Sand Mountain into Dade County, up through Hamilton County, as well as the Sequatchie Valley, Ray County, points over in here. Just some leftover rain here on the back side of these storms. And then things clear out pretty quickly out in here to the north and west as you get up towards McMinnville and Spencer, Manchester, Winchester. You have nothing to worry about up here. Everything's off to your east. And then looking through the radars here, and I'll double check everything real fast. There are some showers up in here, some little downpours up around Clarksville. And by the way, this is actually the main cold front. So what you see back here to the north and west, that's the cold front that's going to move south and east. Now, I should actually say cool front because we're in summer, but the cool front's going to be moving down here during the night tonight. So what that will do is that will clear out the air tonight into early tomorrow morning, and that will give us a really nice Monday and Tuesday. Drier conditions, lower humidity, highs in the low 80s in most places, upper 70s higher elevation. So after all this gets through here, once this front passes, things are going to get really nice here for a good 48 hours or so. And then as we get towards the end of the week, we'll have more rain and storm chances again as we get towards Wednesday and towards the end of the week. So, but the good thing is, after this evening here, we're going to get a really nice break from the rain and thunderstorms for a couple days, with beautiful weather settling in for a couple days. And then Wednesday through the end of the week, pattern flips again, and we get back into more humidity, more moisture, more rain and storm chances. But at least we keep the heat away. So that's the one plus of all this. At least we keep the heat away this next time around, at least temporarily for the next week. So that's a plus there, at least on that side of things. But at the moment, still got to get this through our eastern areas here first. So basically from Dalton, east side of Cleveland, points east. Once it gets out of those areas, then we can focus on tomorrow, and all that, as far as talking about the nice weather ahead. But right now, here's an update on the velocities real quick for those of you down in Whitfield County, showing some 50 to 60, and this has come down a little bit, so that's good. And by come down, I mean it's losing its intensity just a little. So still capable of knocking down some tree limbs, can knock down some power lines here as this crosses through Whitfield County and into Murray. And eventually, for those that may be falling out towards Blue Ridge and Ellijay, Fannin, Gilmer counties, this is heading your way within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So y'all are technically not in my main coverage area, but out here towards Blue Ridge and Ellijay and towards Blairsville, and also Murphy, North Carolina. I've noticed I actually have a few that fall in Cherokee County. This is all heading in your direction here within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So heads up if you happen to be watching from Murphy or Blairsville or Blue Ridge here. This is all heading in your direction, especially if this can hold together and survive up and over these mountains out in here. Checking on the Polk County side here real quick. In fact, I'll give Cleveland the all clear here. So if you're in Cleveland, yeah, it's still a little noisy, some thunder, some rain, but the severe threat's done for you. So McDonald, Cleveland, Charleston, Calhoun, you're good. So you're clear there. The worst of this is off to your east. So let's check on the winds in the Ecoe area, about 40 to 50. Yeah, this part up in here, definitely intense looking on radar. Gusty thunderstorm, but in my opinion here, based off what I've seen off velocities, I believe this storm up in here across Bradley and the Polk is falling below severe levels at this point. Now, it could, of course, re-intensify at some point down the road, but I do believe that this thunderstorm up in here, at least at this very minute, is slowly weakening and losing its intensity here as this moves off to the east. So some really good news on that side of things as this moves from west to east. East of I-75 now. So, but again, just be very careful if you do happen to be out driving. And there's a new update on that warning there. So let me see what we got there. That's actually the first warning update I've seen here in about a few minutes. So let me see what that says. Still saying observed, 60 mile an hour wind gusts. At 5:57, severe thunderstorm was located along a line seen from near Charleston to near Cohutta, moving east at 40 miles an hour. Hamilton County Dispatch has reported numerous trees down all across Hamilton County. So Hamilton County has seen a lot of wind damage. So that's where the reports coming into the wind. So this has been confirmed by law enforcement and dispatch in Hamilton County that numerous trees are down all across the county. So there's probably going to be lane, road closures, and all that. So please be very mindful of that. If you live in Hamilton County and you need to get out for dinner or something this evening, whatever you got to do, just be very careful out there and watch out for any down limbs, trees, power lines, etc., even ponding or flash flooding. Locations that are in the path of this severe storm in Bradley and Polk include Benton, Waterville, and Conasauga. So those are the locations in the path of that as it moves out of Bradley and into Polk County. And this warning remains in effect until 6:15 p.m. Eastern. And this warning also to the south in Whitfield and Murray also remains in effect for another 15 minutes. So as long as things go according to plan here, I will be able to sign off here in about 15 minutes once these warnings get let go and be able to go back to normal business here and give the official all clear and all that. So actually what I will do here, let's put on the actual reports here and see what we got, and see what we got as far as wind and everything. Got a couple of reports here. There's been some reports of trees down in the road in the Bryant area of Sand Mountain along Highway 73 at County Road 262. Also, some reported tree damage in the Scottsboro area, the Yarborough Lane and South Market Street. Got another report near Pisgah, County Road 322, again, tree down. Here's one from the severe storm in the Ringgold area. Tree down over a roadway in the Boynton area of Catoosa County. Not seeing anything popped up in Hamilton yet. Here's one from Jasper, Marion County. Multiple trees reported down in the Jasper area. And not seeing anything else so far. The rest of them are back out to the west. So we do have some tree damage reports here from parts of Jackson County, Catoosa County, and as well as Marion County. So, and also Hamilton there according to dispatch. So that's the situation there, at least with storm reports. Now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that goes in effect for the next 45 minutes for Murray County, southeastern Whitfield, into Gilmer and Fannin counties. Again, once this gets past Chatsworth or Eton, it'll be out of my main coverage area here, and it'll be moving into the North Georgia mountains. But that warning here goes in effect until 6:15. So let me get you the information on that. At 6 o'clock p.m., severe thunderstorm was located along the line extending from near Conasauga, which is in Polk County, to near Tilton, moving east at 45 miles an hour. Hazard is 60 mile an hour wind gusts. It's radar indicated. Locations that are in the path of this include Dalton, Chatsworth, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, Eton, Morganton, Crandall, Sumac, Jones Mill, Higdon, in Georgia, that is, Gregory, Loving, Cohutta Wilderness, Epworth, Conasauga Lake, Cartacade, Beaverdale, and Mineral Bluff. Again, these are communities in North Georgia here, especially as you get up into the mountains here that are in the path of this. So severe thunderstorm warning for these mentioned areas until 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's for southeastern Whitfield, all of Murray County, through most of Fannin and Gilmer counties here till 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time for the possibility of 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts, as well as the heavy rain and frequent lightning. Also, just reading off the impacts here, hadn't had a chance to do that as far as like people affected. This is affecting an estimated over 116,000 people and over 57,000 homes. So that's some interesting stats there on this. Didn't know that this app I have has that kind of information, but interesting to note. But yeah, that's the situation there in North Georgia as well as Polk County. And again, Bradley County, I know it's still really heavy down in here in the southeast part of the county down there by Gap Spring and such, but I will go ahead and give you the all clear here because the worst of this is sliding off to the east. And once the leading edge of this passes with the strongest winds, then it's really just rain and thunder and lightning behind this and the severe threat ends. So Bradley County, I'm giving you the thumbs up here as far as severe weather is concerned. You're good. It's really from now Highway 411 and points east here through Polk and Murray counties here where these severe weather is ongoing. And one thing I'll note here, you see this Boeing segment right here over the Benton area down through the Ocoee River here. This is a sign, right? This is one of those indications that forecasters and meteorologists like myself will also look at to indicate where the potential for strong winds will be as well. So when you have this bowing out feature like this, that leading edge of it, where there's that dramatic cutoff from little rain to heavy rain, that's the area where you will find those really strong wind gusts that could be upwards of severe levels. So that's something to note here as it crosses over from Benton into Reliance there along Highway 30, Highway 3315 there, as well as 6474 as you go down towards Big Frog Mountain and towards Ducktown, Turtletown, and Farner in eastern Polk County. And then after that, it'll be into Cherokee County, North Carolina. So if you happen to be watching from Murphy, this is heading your direction here within the next half hour to an hour, as that's moving east at about 40 miles an hour. And that's the thing. As I said, these are not moving very fast, so they'll be in and out very quickly. And once they are, that's it. I mean, there may be a spotty shower, maybe a stray thunderstorm behind this, but nothing of note, because this right here should really help take out all the energy that's needed for any kind of additional severe storms. This should really take out and zap out a lot of that energy. So that's something to note. Got a couple of new reports here of some thunderstorm wind damage. One in Ringgold. Several reports of trees downed in and near the town of Ringgold, and also up around Fordo and Rossville, close to Lake Winnie. Tree downed over a roadway there in that area. Time estimated from radar. So those are a couple new reports that just came across the wire. Here's one from Hamilton County that just popped up. Again, that's the report from the NWS from earlier. Numerous trees down across Hamilton County. So that's the situation there with those reports again. And that's where you see these yellow squares here. That's what those indicate. Those are the storm reports, as you see. And those are the thunderstorm wind damage reports. So there's quite a bit of them here, even in areas that didn't even have a severe thunderstorm. The winds were gusty enough to knock down trees. That also brings up another important point here, that the ground has been very saturated, especially down in here across Jackson County and in other areas too. The ground is saturated with all the rain we've seen on and off the past few weeks. So it's not taking as much wind effort to get trees to fall because of how saturated the ground has been. That's why these trees are That's another reason why these trees are falling so easily, because the ground is saturated from the previous rounds of heavy rain we've seen the last few weeks, and that adds up over time. So it doesn't take as much force from wind to start knocking down tree limbs and knocking down trees as what we've seen here today across the metro, and also down through even Jackson County, Marion County, and also northwest Georgia here. So again, it's not going to take as much. So that's why for those of you in Polk County and as well as Murray that have not seen much yet as far as anything, this is why you're given that heads up and why you have these severe thunderstorm warnings, is because there's that possibility that you could have similar experiences here with power outages, trees down, all kinds of stuff there. So that's why these warnings are being issued in advance, to give you that heads up. So again, Chatsworth and Eton, these storms are moving in as we speak, and Benton's almost on the back side of this. About 5 more minutes in Benton, you'll be good. But Ocoee, I'm gonna give you the all clear since you're on the back side, at least in the town of Ocoee, around downtown. And then up towards Delano, this is moving in as we speak. So from Delano and south will be the heaviest part of this. But if you're up around Etowah, and you don't have to worry about this. This is going to stay to your south. You'll get a little bit of rain, some thunder, but nothing to worry about in Etowah, and nothing to worry about in McMinn County. Still got this really heavy thunderstorm around Nyota and up towards Sweetwater into Madisonville and McMinn into Monroe County. But this is non-severe. This is just a heavy thunderstorm with maybe some 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts in that, but that's pretty much it. Also some thunderstorms here moving across Chattooga County, around Somerville, down through Lyerly there, south of Menlo and Tryon, moving towards Calhoun, Georgia. So heads up around Resaca, Calhoun, Ranger, Sonoraville. This is heading your direction within the next half hour. Again, not severe down in here, but you got some more rain moving in. Again, checking on the metro here, as well as the Sequatchie Valley and other places here, including Cleveland and Dayton and such. Just some rain up in here. Light to moderate, maybe a little thunder and lightning, but nothing big. Things are drying out in Jasper. Things are starting to dry out in Dunlap and Pikeville as this wave of rain and storms continues moving off to the east. South Pitt's drying out, as well as Stevenson and Bridgeport. Scottsboro, you're good. Fort Payne, Sand Mountain, good shape. Middle Tennessee, pretty much the whole mid-state, good shape as far as storms are concerned. Bonnaroo, safe to go on. Got a little bit of shower activity in southern Lincoln County, but this is nothing of worry. So as I look back to the north and west, other than some little thunder showers here with this cold front back up towards north of Nashville here with this main cool front, that's pretty much it. So, and behind that, the humidity's much lower behind that. So, that's what's going to swing through tonight. So the front will swing through as we get after sunset here. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued for the remainder of Polk County that was not in the warning previously. So this does include Ducktown. It includes Farner, includes Big Frog Mountain up through Coker Creek, not Tellico Plains. Tellico Plains, this is not for you. If you're in Madisonville and Sweetwater, not for you. Even Murphy in neighboring Cherokee County, North Carolina, doesn't include you, and at least not right now. But if this holds together, you'll probably be included in one down the road. It's for this line segment right here. Even though it has come down, at least in the wind field, it's come down in Tennessee just a little, at least on the Tennessee side. There's still that possibility of 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts that could, again, with the saturated ground and such, it's not going to take a lot to get trees to fall here as that moves towards the Highway 68 corridor and towards McKaysville, Copper Hill, up through Ducktown, Farner, Turtletown, all the way up into those areas. So make sure that you're inside in a good, safe place away from windows, as well as Coker Creek there in the southern end of Monroe County, Tennessee, and also into Cherokee County, North Carolina, and into Fannin and Gilmer counties here around Blue Ridge and Ellijay. This is all moving to the east here at about 40 miles an hour. So the latest information on that, as far as new information there, this is at 6:08. Severe storms located along the line extending from near Etowah to 11 miles north of Eton, moving east at 45 miles an hour. Hazard is 60 mile an hour wind gusts. Source, again, law enforcement. Hamilton County dispatchers reported numerous trees downed across the county due to these storms. Locations that are in the path of this include Ducktown, William L. Davenport Refuge, Coker Creek, Conasauga, Violet, Big Frog Mountain, Parksville, and Turtletown. So those are the locations that are in the path of this. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning for Polk County and southeastern Monroe County goes in effect until 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. But I'll be honest with you, I think it's going to be out of those areas a little sooner than that. So I think it'll be out of there before 7. But so yeah, give it about 20, 25 minutes or so, and this will be out of those areas considering the movement of the storm. And in fact, it's sped up. It's now moving east at 45. So again, as this moves off to the east, considering it's a line, it has sped up. So it won't last in those areas all that long. So by the time we get, I'd say, about 6:40, 6:35, 6:40, this will likely be out of Polk County, out of our area, and moving over into southwestern North Carolina by that point. And then this down in here will be out of Murray County here in about 10 to 15 minutes roughly. We'll give it about 15 minutes, and this will be out of Murray County and into Fannin and Gilmer. And I'll tell you, Blue Ridge is going to get hammered. I mean, they're going to get hit pretty hard here. This is, you see this pink on here, dark red, indicates where the heaviest rain is, and some very strong winds along that leading edge. So yeah, Blue Ridge and McKaysville are about to get hammered pretty good here with some potential for some damaging winds and heavy rain and frequent lightning here as that moves off to the east and at area about 40 to 45 miles an hour. So where you see this bow segment up in here across the eastern half of Polk County, that's the area where there's that potential for damaging winds along the leading edge. So Ducktown, Harbuck, Turtletown, down through Copper Basin, Copper Hill, up through Farner, there along Highway 68. That's the area that's going to be in this here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So those are the spots that are in this. So McMinn County, I'll go ahead and give you the all clear. Except for Coker Creek, the majority of Monroe County does not have to worry about a severe storm. You just got this heavy thunderstorm up by Madisonville and the south side of Sweetwater, but that's it. Benton and Ocoee, I'm giving y'all the all clear now. The worst of this is to y'all's east, so you're good there along the 411 corridor. Most of this is now pushed east of 411, except down here from Chatsworth and south towards Ramhurst. So give it about 5-10 more minutes in Chatsworth and Ramhurst, and you will be good to go there. Eton, giving you the all clear, as well as Cisco, Crandall, up toward and out west towards Dalton, Varnell. You're in good shape. Catoosa County, you're clear. Walker, you're good. And that's pretty much it. Again, the worst of these storms are now east of Somerville, moving towards Calhoun. Just some heavy rain. If you know anybody that happens to be down there by Weiss Lake, around Cedar Bluff and Center in Cherokee County, Alabama, make sure they're off the water and inside somewhere safe because there's a heavy thunderstorm in that area down south. Again, a few showers in southern Lincoln County, moving towards Flintville, but that's nothing of worry. And then the main front's back out there up around Clarksville, north of Nashville, and that'll be moving south as we get into the night tonight. Again, nothing going on up towards Knoxville or the Tri-Cities. Just some rain here and there up in those areas. So if you have any travel plans up that way or whatever that may be, thumbs up there, no problems, because all these storms are now passing east of I-75 now. So it's safe to say that east of I-75, that's where all the thunderstorms are going to be at this point. Again, Chatsworth's almost on the back side of this here. So as I said, get about a few more minutes there and you will be good. Still seeing some indications of very strong winds here, probably upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour, crossing over those mountains. So crossing over Fort Mountain and the Cohutta Wildlife Management Area, moving into Fannin County as well as the rest of eastern Polk County. And then once you get up here into Monroe County, it slacks off a good bit. So be very careful if you also happen to be traveling along the Cherahela Skyway here between Telco Plains and Graham County, North Carolina. It's not as heavy up in here, but this part may clip you here on that north side. So just be careful up in here, traveling between Telco Plains, Tennessee, and Robbinsville, North Carolina here with it for the next hour or two. And also be careful if you're traveling east of Cleveland here, especially through Polk County and into Cherokee County, North Carolina here along 64 and 74 here, as this severe storm complex moves off to the east from there. And again, I'll emphasize this again, just some rain and a little bit of thunder back here through Hamilton, through Bradley, McMinn, Western Polk, Meigs, Ray. Rain's wrapping up in Spring City and Dayton now. Rain's wrapping up in Trenton. Tapering off also in Lafayette and up through Chickamauga and Rossville now. That's pretty much it there. Some light to moderate rain in around Ringgold. Again, what you see behind here is nothing of worry. Just a little bit of rain and some rumbles and thunder maybe. And I'll put this on a loop here for you. And you can see here, this is about a 1 hour loop, and you can see how everything has progressed here. So we started out with that severe storm in Marion, Sequatchie, and Hamilton there just after 4 o'clock Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. That moved to the east, and as you see, look how quick it's moved within an hour. Again, there was an hour ago. That was an hour ago right here. Here's now. Notice how far east that's moved within the past hour. So this is getting up and out of here in a hurry. So you can imagine, by looking at that, where it was an hour ago out here, it's over here now, and within an hour it's going to be somewhere out in here, well east of us by that point. So that's how fast this is moving. So that's the good thing with this. As I said, usually most summer thunderstorms, especially the typical scattered pop-ups, they don't move very fast. There's not a lot of wind motion. But when you have these complexes like these that are organized enough, they're the ones that are able, because of their organization and such, they are able to move faster and get in and out quicker. So that's the good thing here with this, with all this situation here. Let me make sure I'm not getting any additional reports or anything going on. Not seeing anything else at the moment. I'll double check and see what we got here on any spotter network or anything like that. So we got one report. Some reports of tree damage here, looks like. A spotter's reporting there 3 miles west of Cleveland. So there was probably some tree damage in that area, I'd imagine. So again, that's some stuff that I'm looking at here. Also, No additional reports of anything. We do have actually just now, about an hour ago, Chickamauga. Several reports of trees down in the town of Chickamauga. Time estimated from radar. So that's the latest. That's actually the news report I've gotten there, along with the one in Bradley County there on the west side of Cleveland. Possibly some looks like some thunderstorm wind damage in that area. So that's it as far as spotter and storm reports, at least right now. But we got a new radar scan in Chatsworth. I'm going ahead and giving you the all clear. So the worst of this is to your east, moving off to your east now. So Chatsworth back towards Dalton, Eton, you're good. So this is off to your east now. And the only areas of Polk County that are having severe weather are Turtletown, Farner, down through Ducktown and Copper Hill, Copper Basin area, and down into Fannin County around McKaysville and Blue Ridge. So those are the only spots right now that are experiencing severe weather at this point. Again, both of these warnings here run in effect for about another 25 minutes. Well, this one in North Georgia does for Gilmer and Fannin and Eastern Murray, but this one up in here, in Eastern Polk and the Western Cherokee County, that one runs in effect until 6:45. So that's about another 25 minutes with that warning, and then 7 o'clock down here to the south for LJ and Blue Ridge. So that's how long those warnings go into effect. And by the time those warnings are done, it'll be either to or past the eastern edge of this orange polygon you see on the map. So again, just make sure you're inside a good safe place away from windows. If you are in Ducktown, up through Turtletown, Farner, down to Copper Hill, McKaysville, Blue Ridge, LJ here for about the next 10-20 minutes at least. Let this get by. And same goes out for areas towards Murphy if you happen to be watching me from there. Real quick here, I'm actually going to go through some of the modeling here real fast just to see where we're going forward. Again, there was the earlier situation there. I don't know why it's still popping up on there, so let me edit that real fast. And it'll take you through the next few hours, so we'll skip ahead. Now, again, later this evening, there is a possibility as that front dives south here as we get towards around just after sunset, there may be a few additional pop-up showers or maybe a stray thunderstorm, but I really don't think we're going to have anything severe with that, and not everybody's going to get rain out of that. That should be fairly spotty. Things will taper off quickly as we get close to midnight and beyond, and as we get towards Monday and Tuesday, things will quiet down. So that's kind of the situation there. Again, the front will move through after sunset, and after it does, things will really dry out, and as I said, Monday and Tuesday will be wonderful. Low humidity, a good deal of sunshine, some clouds mixed in from time to time, highs in the upper 70s, low 80s. For mid-June, that's pretty awesome for mid-June. So you don't get it very often in summertime, a nice little cool down like that. So make sure you enjoy that, especially while it lasts, because the humidity is going to come back up as we get towards the end of the week. And again, I'll have a full update on that, of course, here tonight once things quiet down here after we get this through these eastern areas. So it's pretty much out of Murray County now. So again, Murray County, Georgia, you're all clear. So once this gets out of Ducktown and Turtletown, I'll be able to officially sign off here. So hopefully that will be able to happen here within about 5 to 10 minutes. So probably by about 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, as this all pushes into southwest North Carolina and northeast Georgia here. And hopefully with time that will lose its strength before it gets deeper into the Carolinas. But at least right now it's heading in that direction. Again, I'll check on this one thunderstorm up around Madisonville up towards Von Orr and Monroe County. Not a severe storm, but just a good old soaker with some little bit of lightning, heavy rain with that as it moves off towards the Tallahassee area there into southern Blount County. Rain's wrapping up in downtown Chattanooga now, so if you got evening plans or anything, I mean, if you're in any other area, not seeing this in eastern Polk County, for example, if you're not there, you really don't have anything to worry about this evening. So for the majority of you that aren't seeing anything right now, and everything's moved past you to the east, and I've given you the all clear, which is pretty much just about everybody, you are good to go about your evening plans. I mean, you can go to bed if you want, you can go out to dinner, whatever thing you got going on this evening, it's perfectly fine as far as that's concerned. as this is all beginning to move off to the east. Now, towards Athens, Cleveland area, especially out in here where there's still a little bit of lightning ongoing, hold off on doing anything outdoors. Wait for this back edge of the rain to clear. But if you're in an area where it's not raining, you don't have any issues here for this evening as far as your plans. So that's the good thing. You can go about those. So this is clearing out. So again, this bow structure here is where the heaviest winds are, is right on the Tennessee-North Carolina line as we speak, crossing over Highway 68. Here's Polk County, Tennessee on the left. This is Hiwassee Lake in Cherokee County, North Carolina here on the right. As that crosses over the border as we speak, the state line I should say, between Tennessee and North Carolina, and tracking parallel to Highway 64 and 74 that runs through this area. And then Blue Ridge, not to forget about anybody that may be watching there. Again, this severe storm's on top of you, so give it about 15 minutes or so, and it'll be out of your area. In about 15 minutes also in LJ, and it'll be out of your area. So that is pretty much it in regards to those areas. And again, Ducktown, you're very much on the backside of this, so from areas west of Highway 68 in Polk County, you are clear from this, especially west of 68. But if you're east of 68 there towards the North Carolina line there, give it about 5 more minutes and you will be in better shape here momentarily as this moves from west to east. Still picking up a good deal of lightning in it. It has come down a little bit in intensity, so that's good. Winds, unfortunately, are still a little strong in this. I mean, still showing some 50 to 60 in here, so that's why this warning's still in effect. And also, when you have the added addition of all these mountains out in here, as you get into the Blue Ridge Mountains here, as well as the southern spine of the Smokies and such through here, elevations are really high in here, so that can actually enhance the wind a little bit sometimes, especially as you go higher up in elevation. So it's not going to take as much effort to get trees to fall as this moves into southwestern North Carolina and the remainder of northeast Georgia there. Also, some other thunderstorms moving north of metro Atlanta. And again, the little showers that were there in Lincoln County, Tennessee, have pretty much fizzled out as they move down into Madison County, Alabama. And then the front up in here is not really producing much up in here. Just some spotty showers, brief downpours up around north of Gallatin towards south of Bowling Green, Kentucky, with the main front back in here. Nothing really much to it, though. But there is that chance as we get towards and around or after sunset here for a little bit, we may catch a quick passing shower or brief downpour. But I believe the severe threat is pretty much done with at this point. And you really don't expect anything additional going forward as far as really any kind of like weather issues. And again, I'll reiterate that point as long as things go according to plan, of course, here in the update that I'll have here in a couple of hours for the extended forecast. But, and again, I'll double check back quick here to the west. Nothing else going on back in here. So where it's been really active the last week up around, Missouri, Illinois, out towards Kansas, where things have been really active, nothing going on up there. The front's past those, so things are calmer. So that's just a sign of what's to come for us here for the next couple of days, that things will be quieting down. And I'll tell you this, compared to what those areas up there have had, I mean, it's been a very rough spring and early start to summer up north around the Great Lakes and back towards the Central Plains. They've had a lot of tornadoes, a lot of hail, a lot of high wind and such. Thankfully, this spring and early summer, we've managed to avoid the worst storms. We've had some bumpy ones every now and then, but one thing to be thankful for is we haven't had near the intensity or the number that those to our north and west have had during this whole spring. So we got a lot to be thankful for that regard, because as we all know, that can easily be us. But thankfully this year it's not. I mean, every now and then we'll have storms like these that come across right in here that produce those damaging winds. But the good thing here is that we've not had any kind of reports of tornadoes or anybody getting hurt or anything like that. So that's the good thing with this. So now that severe storm is now moving out of Polk County, moving out of Farner, moving out of Ducktown and Turtletown, now moving into Cherokee County, North Carolina. So now that these storms are now officially moving out of our area and clearing us here at this point, I'm officially giving everybody the all clear. Very officially, you heard it here. And again, I will have I'll have more updates here through tonight as necessary. Again, I'll, of course, always have that forecast update that comes out every night, just like I do on any day. So be on the lookout for that. That will go into detail about this week and even a little bit of a look ahead into next weekend as well. So I will see you around for for at least a couple more written updates here through the next few hours. But the good thing here is that the severe weather threat is over. So I want to make that point clear. So hope you guys have a good evening, and I will see you guys back here soon with more updates.